What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Al King, back on that again with another banger for y'all's out here today there, y'all. And guys, you know I got my awesome girl up in here, Black Widow. Say hey, Black Widow. Black Widow says, hey y'all, but guys. Your boy had another killer workout. I tell y'all, I feel great. Mind and body is now sharpened. Testosterone forever. Let me do that again. Testosterone forever. But guys, welcome on back to the channel. And guys, this is something different I'm going to be doing. Let me know if you guys want to see more stuff like this. But I got to talk about Marvel fans versus Star Wars fans. And the battle is not even close. So guys, this video here, I took the fan base of Marvel and also the fan base of Star Wars, and I split it up into about 5 different categories. Category number 1, diehard fans. Category number 2, delusion of fans. Category number 3, fan service and getting what the fans want. Category number 4, most unity. And category number 5, best audience reaction in theaters. Let's get on into it, guys. So, in terms of diehard fans, I'm going to give this one to Marvel. Marvel fans, we got the best diehard fans in my personal opinion. Here's why I say that. You see, when I look at the Star Wars community, just being in it, you know, with the fan base, I feel like it's built off of a lot of nostalgia. Let me explain what I mean on this. Now, yes, there is a lot of nostalgia in Marvel and the Marvel community as well, but it's very, very different on the Star Wars side. Now, what I noticed with the Star Wars community, and by the way, I'm not just talking about people in my own generation. No. I'm not just talking about Gen Z. No, I'm talking about you old heads too, because I be talking to y'all too about the Star Wars. And when I talk to a lot of old heads, you know, I meet some that told me straight up, listen, man, like back in the day when Star Wars first came out, back in my time, I was like, you know, it was all right, but it wasn't really my thing. I didn't really get into it until the prequels. I met some old heads like that. I met some that only likes this particular type of Star Wars movies. You know, so I was actually pretty surprised at what the old heads were telling me. But they still tell me straight up, yeah, our old stuff that we got back then, even though we didn't really fuck with it like that, it's still better than this new shit by a long shot. And looking forward and looking around, I had to take a step back and look at how did I get into Star Wars. Now, believe it or not, the first thing I got into, like the first thing I was introduced to in terms of Star Wars for me, it was Star Wars The Force Unleashed. That is what got me involved with Star Wars, because yeah, I knew about the prequels and all that stuff. Growing up as a kid, I wasn't really into Star Wars. My family wasn't really into it like that. I had some cousins that liked Star Wars, but growing up, I wasn't really into it like that. It took Star Wars The Force Unleashed to get me into Star Wars. And that was when I was like, damn, I really do want to go ahead and learn about Anakin Skywalker. Darth Vader, and you know, like seeing the transformation from Anakin to Darth Vader, I wanted to see that. And also, you know, just learning about the world of Star Wars. You know, The Force Unleashed made Star Wars really epic to me. And it's crazy, you know, it didn't take a movie, but it actually took a video game, you know, because being a kid growing up in Gen Z, like, I was more so, don't get me wrong, I love my movies, but that was a time period where I just loved video games. Like video games were just astronomically better for me, like way more better in terms of movies. So when I saw a game like The Force Unleashed, that really made me just like, wow, just made me fall in love with Star Wars. And just made me want to go into the lore and everything. That's what made me a diehard fan for Star Wars, starting right there. But for a lot of people, it's the movies. But the reason why I said Star Wars community is built off of nostalgia is just from basically the people I come across. And I feel like every generation changes with Star Wars. Like, I remember when the prequels first came out, the hate people could not stand the prequels of Star Wars. And then years later, heck, I didn't even care about Star Wars at that time period. Like I said, I didn't come into the mix until after The Force Unleashed. I forget when The Force Unleashed came out. Maybe what, 2009, 2005? I don't know. Was that around the prequel time? I don't know. But I didn't watch the prequels till like a couple years later, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, but anyway, so you know, with the prequels, a lot of people hated the prequels when it first came out. But then you fast forward to today, a lot of people look at the prequels now and they really do appreciate it. So that's my thing with Star Wars. I feel like the fan base changes dramatically. And I'm just like, because I look around and it's just like every generation just fluctuate with Star Wars. It's like they'll love it or they'll hate it. You just don't know with Star Wars fans. So diehard fans, hands down, has to go to Marvel. When I talk to a Marvel fan, and they like characters, they like certain movies, Marvel fans, we just show up. We show up in droves. Not to say that Star Wars fans don't, but Marvel fans tend to show up in droves for whatever Marvel's got going for it. And yeah, Marvel fans, we usually get what we want. Unfortunately, that's not the same for Star Wars fans. So yeah, a bit disconnect right there. But yeah, diehard fans, that category, I gotta give it to Marvel. But let's move on to the next one. Let's talk about category number 2, delusion of fans. Lord have mercy. The delusion of fans is insane, guys. With Marvel, I feel like the only delusion is really with Spider-Man. Like me, guys, I love the Amazing Spider-Man movies. A lot of people hate the Amazing Spider-Man movies. I love them. I will say this, I didn't like them when they first came out because after Spider-Man 3, I was hoping that we get a Spider-Man 4. With Tobey Maguire and everything. I thought the saga was going to continue. So seeing another Spider-Man come out of nowhere, I was a bit upset with that. So it took me some time to watch The Amazing Spider-Man. But in general, Marvel fans, we're not really that delusional, if I'm just being honest. Compared to Star Wars fans, y'all is just a trip. Now I will say, Gen Alpha, you got them in the mix. So, you got a lot of people, you got these new kids also up in there in the mix who didn't grow up with really the greatest Marvel stuff or the greatest Star Wars content. So whatever something decent kind of does come out, they automatically think it's a masterpiece when it really not. Take Andor for a set, take Andor for example. A lot of Star Wars fans, not just new generation, but a lot of older generation too. Guys, I made a video talking about Andor, and I was like, y'all, the most boring TV show in all of Star Wars, well, right behind, the Acolyte, is getting a season 2. And in my eyes, I was just like, really? I mean, I hope it's good, but, I was reading the comics, and people were literally saying, bro, you're crazy. The Andor is literally the best thing that we got since the original trilogy of Star Wars. And I'm just like, no way. I'm going to hope that this is, one of these new generation people, the Gen Alphas. I'm going to hope that's a Gen Alpha saying that, but it's a lot of people really love Andor. I'm not saying it's a bad show, but for me, I feel like with Star Wars fans, y'all a lot of y'all are so delusional. And y'all so used to getting fed a lot of shitty content. So when y'all do get something kind of decent, but it really ain't all that, y'all motherfuckers get out there and say that shit is a masterpiece. Andor is not no fucking masterpiece. And I'm looking at you guys like, what the hell's going on? Guys, Andor to me, I feel like it's like the Young and the Restless of Star Wars. That's why I look at Andor. This is a Young and the Restless, bold and beautiful type of TV show. This is for the old heads that like that type of slow shit. But if you're a Gen Zer or just a fan that loves the action pack that really draws you in, cool action scenes, good character development, and not all about the dialogue, that's why I fell in love with The Force Unleashed. But, every fan is different. But some of y'all do like that type of stuff. But to say that's the greatest thing since the original trilogy, Andor, is insane. And that just goes to show me how delusional a lot of fans are in the Star Wars community. You see, with Marvel fans, we only get delusional when it comes down with Spider-Man. That's about the only time I really butt heads with a lot of fans. If it ain't Spider-Man, I usually don't butt heads with your typical Marvel fan. But Star Wars, Lord have mercy. I understand, you guys, unfortunately with Star Wars, you don't get a lot of great content, unfortunately. So it's just when something decent does come around, it's like, yeah. But in reality, I'm gonna be like, dude, that shit is mid. Andor is mid. And y'all going crazy over this shit. Y'all just eating that shit up. The hell's wrong with y'all? But anyway, guys, let's move on to the next category. we gotta talk about fans getting what they want. Oh, I'm gonna love this one. So in terms of fans getting what they want. Oh, and by the way, for Delusion, that's a point going to Star Wars fans. Y'all get that point for Delusion. But anyway, to the next categories. Fans getting what they want. The fan service. Now, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Marvel fans, we automatically get this point. That's 2 points going for Marvel. And the reason why I say this, because guys, Marvel fans, when we talk, we point things out. We tend to get what we want. Even Marvel right now, Marvel Studios, hell, just Marvel in general, even Marvel not being in its prime anymore right now, is still much more enjoyable than the shit that you get with Star Wars nowadays. Like, come on, guys. Like with Marvel right now, I'm actually hyped for a lot of stuff. Like we got the Thunderbolts coming on the way. We got Captain America Brave New World. That's going to be pretty interesting. Like there's things I'm actually pretty hyped for. But Star Wars, what do we got? Andor Season 2? Like that's practically all we got, if I'm not mistaken, regarding Star Wars. And on top of that, guys, we get what we want because we got pretty decent leadership in the Marvel community. Number one, guys, we got Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige has given us Iron Man, the Avengers, and then we got Kathleen Kennedy, Kathleen Kennedy over there with Star Wars. And, well, Star Wars fans, I mean, you got Lizzo, so that's about all y'all got. So, it's safe to say that Marvel fans, we always get what we want. But Star Wars fans, it's a hit or miss for y'all. Sometimes Star Wars can be actually pretty decent, and there's other times I'm just like, no, this is trash. But this it's safe to say that Marvel fans, we get what we want, hands down. Kevin Feige, even though I don't agree with every decision he makes, in general, like if it's like you're not gonna have a continuous spiral downfall with Marvel for too long. Basically right now we're basically getting out of the dry season with Marvel. Marvel is starting to get better. It's starting to reach that that new height, going forward in the future. Star Wars is just a hit or miss. We don't know if it's coming or going. So this category automatically goes to Marvel. Moving on to the next topic. Most unity in the community. All right, guys. So in terms of unity in the community, I ain't gonna lie, this might be a draw. This might just be a draw. But in general, Marvel fans, we tend to be a lot more unified on the regular, if I'm just being honest. The only time, like I said before, we only kind of butt heads. If it's like Spider-Man, that's usually when we butt heads a lot of times. Or when it comes down to comic book material. And, because us Marvel fans, including myself, like, I always go straight for the comics and be like, well, this happened in the comics, so, I'm not too mad this happened on the screen. But other fans will be like, well, just because it happened in the comics don't mean that was a good comic. So, but at the end of the day, it's technically canon. So, that's really the only time when Marvel fans kind of butt heads. But in general, I would say Marvel fans are very, very united until we get to the topic of Spider-Man. That's really the time we do get divided. But other than that, after Star Wars fans, I will say Star Wars fans did unify with the Acolyte. That's probably the one thing that can get every Star Wars fans to join together and be like, hey man, Disney, get your shit together. This is not Star Wars. We don't like this. Improve. This should not be canon. But and also certain content creators, like I remember with Star Wars Theory when he was going through his old, I think it was the copyright thing, with his Star Wars fan film, the Vader fan film. I remember the amount of people that teamed up with him. So yeah, we'll see some unity from time to time, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. Marvel, we get this one. Well, you know what? Well, this might be kind of a draw, but I'm still leaning more Marvel for this one. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it as a draw because I have seen some solid unity with the Star Wars fans at times. But yeah, let's move on. So this one I'm gonna have to put it as a draw. Now moving on to the final one. Audience reaction in the theater. Y'all, you cannot beat Marvel in terms of in terms of theater reactions. You just can't beat it. Guys, when Avengers Like the Captain America Civil War, when I saw that thing in theaters, man, people was going crazy with that. Like Avengers Endgame, like people were standing up and clapping. And with another, Black Panther, that was another one. Like it was like, guys, in general, like a lot of Marvel fans, we get the like literally the best like theater reactions out of everybody. We really, really do. But Star Wars fans, I ain't gonna lie, I don't really see too many people standing up and clapping in a Star Wars film. I just haven't seen it. Not even Rogue One, Like we'll see some oh yeah, that was cool, but yeah, like I don't really get like a lot of people, at least whenever I go out and go see a new movie involving Star Wars, I don't get that type of energy. Like it's like, yeah, we'll see it. We'll be like, okay, yeah, that was cool, whatever, but we don't get that like, yeah, that type of stuff. Well, maybe with what was it, Star Wars, episode 7, The Force Awakens, that might have been the one time I will say it was an okay audience reaction. I will say that, but in general, Marvel slays it with the audience reaction in the theaters. It's the best ever. Best experience most of the time. So in general, guys, like I said, this wasn't even close. We're going to run through this analysis. So diehard fans, that's a point to Marvel. Delusion, we give that to Star Wars fans. Fans getting what they want, fan service, obviously that's going to go to Marvel. And also, what else we got? Most unified, I'm going to give that one a draw. And then audience reaction. So clearly, guys, it's safe to say, really only just, what we got? Pretty much 2 points to Star Wars, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, pretty much like 4 points. Yeah, like 4.5 points to what was it? Yeah, the Marvel fans. So guys, as you guys can see, this battle wasn't even close. Marvel fans clearly win this one, but it's your boy Al King. Like and subscribe, share. Let me know what you guys want to see more topics like this, dissecting the fans. I'm curious to see what you guys got to say in the comment section below, but this is where I stand. Some of y'all might call me crazy, but I do want to see what you guys got to say. But it's your boy Al King. This is Black Widow. We'll be catching y'all in the next one. Y'all take it easy.
I possess all your dreams. A demon preys on